Welcome to Daggers and Drams, where stories are forged by imagination, fate is decided by the roll of the dice, and every adventure is better shared. We're a table of players and storytellers bringing bold characters, dangerous choices, and unforgettable moments to life. Here you'll find epic campaigns, unexpected twists, terrible puns, and the kind of chaos only tabletop games can create. So pour yourself a dram and settle in by the fire, and join us at the table. This is Daggers and Drams. Before we wrap up, a quick note about these first few episodes. Our first 3 releases are what we're calling our origin episodes. They're selected edits from our Zero sessions, short, one-shot introductions that give you a glimpse of each character before the larger story truly begins. Think of them as a chance to meet the party, get a feel for who they are, and see what they bring to the table before everything starts to unravel. We also want to be upfront with you. These episodes were recorded while we were still finding our footing. We're learning as we go, adjusting mic levels, background elements, and the many small details that come with recording a show like this. So if things sound a little rough around the edges at times, know that it's part of the journey. We're listening, improving, and committed to making each episode better than the last. As we grow as players, storytellers, and creators, thanks for sticking with us at the very beginning. We're excited to have you here, and we can't wait for you to see where this story goes along with us.
The smell of rouge, perfume, sweat, and spilled brandy clings to the air like a warm, perfumed fog. Welcome to the Velvet Tail, most infamous burlesque parlor east of the Blackwater docks. Once a den for sailors and dreamers, thieves and nobles slumming for excitement. Now it is an empire of silk and secrets run by the cleverest bunnyfolk in town, Ruby Winktail. Ruby's long ears curve like crescent moons above her head. Fur soft as mink, eyes painted with a shimmering violet dust. Every step she takes is calculated elegance. Hips swaying, heels clicking. Her red satin coat fluttering behind her like the wings of a dancer who learned to fly on her own terms. But beneath the sequins and glamour, the Velvet Tail hides a darker heartbeat. Tonight, that pulse is growing louder. Ruby inherited the Velvet Tail 2 years ago when Madame Levere, the aging but beloved previous owner, succumbed to an unexpected illness. Her final words to Ruby were whispered through cracked, lipstick-stained lips. "Little Winktail, take care of our girls." The performance hall glows in candlelight. Deep reds, gold trim, velvet curtains cascading like waterfalls. Dancers sway on the main stage, bodies glittering with sequins and shadow. The band plays slow, sultry notes that slide through the crowd like warm honey. Behind the main bar, the halfling bartenders flip bottles like acrobats at the tables, settlers toss coins and promises. And in the private booths along the back wall, whispers of deals both sweet and sinister coil like cigarette smoke. Ruby is backstage adjusting the straps for one of her dancers when the door bursts open. Pearl, the doe-eyed tiefling girl, staggers in, her lip split, dress torn, one horn cracked. "It was him. It was the Marvel boy." What do you do in this moment?
I want to know which Marvel boy. I want to know if there's more than one, or if it's one in particular.
So you know that while the Marvel family is large, the only kind of younger member just now is the single male heir, and he is a regular. His name is Octavius.
Okay. Have I had any dealings with Octavius before? Would I know him?
So the type of establishment that you run is adjacent to those which are a little bit darker in nature. While you know that certain things may or may not happen behind closed doors in your establishment, the general rule of thumb is that this is a bit more of an upscale place. But again, knowing what you have learned since taking over ownership, that the Marvels, not only in here, but throughout the town pretty much feel like they can do what they want. They own everything, they own everyone, and they act like it. So their demeanor, no matter who in their family you are encountering, is always one of arrogance and power. It frankly makes you sick to your stomach about it. There have been a couple of instances where you, through beguiling means or through trickery, have been able to dissuade them or to appease them in a way which is suitable to your conscience. But they're always pushing, always testing that boundary with you. The first thought that you have is that she's lucky to be alive.
Okay.
Because you know that these are the kinds of people who get their kicks from taking it too far.
Okay. Well, I think that probably if he's still in my establishment and my girls are still there, Madam would want me to protect my girls. So I think that I want to find him and see where he is and know what he's doing right now.
Okay. So having a quick look around the place, your theater is grand, but it's not large. So very quickly you're able to establish that he's no longer in the building, that he has left for the night, and reports are that he was kind of laughing on his way out the door, that he was elated as if he had gotten everything that he had paid for and more, and even gloated that he would definitely be back tomorrow night.
Okay. I mean, I'm a bunny, I'm a coward, I'm scared, but I'm also really mad. Okay. I'm gonna plan something. I'm gonna wait for him coming back tomorrow. Let me see what I've got.
As you're plotting and thinking about the trap that you want to try and set for this boy, a cold wind blows through your memory as you recall Madame Levere's final night. She lay in her long feathered robe, surrounded by fading candlelight. Perfume bottles line her bedside like silent mourners. Listen, Ruby, pretty girls are currency in this city. And men like the Merrill boy, they think your girls belong to them. You can deny them drinks, you can deny them a dance, but deny them their pride, deny them their power. Her eyes glaze over with fear as she brings you close. Promise me you'll never cross them. Promise me, Ruby, next time. And you remember in that moment that you vowed that you would never let harm come to her people. And then you're brought back into the present where that vow is being tested.
Okay, I'm in a tough spot here because I need to lure him in with something, but I also don't want to break my vow. Maybe I offer myself up.
Are you doing this solely on your own, or are you bringing in other people?
Oh my god, this is getting wild, Jay.
Just asking.
Who have I got to bring in?
There are the girls who work for you. There are a couple of bouncers, barmen, people of that nature. Not necessarily usually people that you would bring kind of behind the curtain.
Right.
And thinking of the girls, doesn't really come to mind many of them that would be helpful in a fight, per se. You've always been kind of the security for that side of the business, as it were. You were raised kind of in the streets, and knew how to look after yourself and knew what to look for and how to avoid problems first and foremost, but that you could handle yourself in a skirmish. But as far as people working for you, you have Pearl, the tiefling dancer who was accosted, doe-eyed, pale lavender skin, cracked left horn. She's a bit of an anxious sweetheart. She loves you deeply and kind of looks up to you. Before the matron passed, she looked up to you like a sister because you worked alongside one another. But now you realize that torch has passed to where she looks up to you the same way that you did the previous owner. There's Mimsy Finch, who is a gnome seamstress, bubblegum pink curls, needles always in her hair, sarcastic, brilliant with costumes. She makes all of your clothes.
Hmm.
And she's a bit of a gossip. Knows everybody's secrets. As far as knowing things about the building, she might be useful in that way. While maybe not so much in a direct conflict. Braska, or Ox, a half-orc bouncer, is a gentle giant with a baritone laugh. He's loyal to you, specifically. He's been several times where you were in Pearl's shoes, and he came to your rescue. He was the one who told you that David had left. And then there is Seraphine Loon, an Eladrin showstopper. You were the star performer before the battle passed. And Seraphine was kind of second to you, but has now taken center stage under your direction. You know, that you felt like you couldn't be the star of the show and run the show at the same time. So your closest confidant, and sometimes more.
Okay. I think we need to get Seraphine involved then.
This is a fight. Just making this cool.
Okay. So, I have at my disposal charms, color spray, command, cure wounds, feather fall, and sleep. So there's not really an awful lot that I can do to hurt this person. I think I'm gonna have to rely on my bouncer for that. But what I can do is lure him in and try and get him charmed, and then try and get him to sleep. So I think I'm gonna get Seraphine to help me with that, given that he's got a big ego. Two of the showstoppers would be, or the star performers would be, a big draw to him.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get Mimsy to warn me when he's on his way.
Okay. So there is a private top floor lounge. It's used mostly for storage, but at one time it was for like birthday parties and things like that. You know, people popping out of cakes and that kind of thing.
So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have me and Seraphine bring him up to that space by using charms, and then maybe get Bratza to hide in that space so that he can, you know, come out and hit the guy once we get him to sleep.
So Seraphine tells you, I'll do whatever I can to get him up here. But when the fighting starts, I can't be here.
Okay.
He scares me. And you can see in her eyes as well, and knowing her quite well, you know that she has things from her past, which this is drawing particularly bad memories for her. And she doesn't want to be anywhere around this guy. So she agrees to help you to lure him, but then she's going to dip out.
Okay.
So that will leave you and Ox to deal with Octavian. It's simple, but elegant in its cruelty. With Seraphine's help, you send a discreet invitation to the Mariffa boy, Octavian Mariffa. Smug young noble with a predator's grin. Inviting him to the private top floor lounge for a special performance. The top lounge is dim and silent, empty except for ruby red lamps glowing like sinful embers. The walls are lined with gilt mirrors. The floor is padded with lush furs. A place designed for indulgence. But tonight will be a stage for justice. You wait in a high-backed velvet chair, legs crossed, champagne in hand. Octavian enters the doorway, already smirking, already confident, already caught. In this moment, would you try to charm, distract, or mock him?
I want Seraphine to be able to get out of there, so I'm going to try and charm him so that it takes his attention off at her.
Okay. And how do you do so?
I have got charm spell.
Okay. Yes, it's a wisdom 13. So it'll just be a straight roll. On a failed save, the target has the charm condition until the spell ends, or until you or your allies damage it. Charmed creature is friendly to you. When the spell ends, the target knows it was charmed by you. The duration lasts 1 hour.
Okay.
So it's a 13 that he has to beat. So add your roll.
Oh, you
Just do 50. It does not. He is charmed.
return. Nice.
So a charmed creature cannot attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects. The charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature. So please put it in your hands.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, hey baby, how are you? Come here. And what did you say was in the room?
Lots of lush furniture.
Furniture.
Rugs, a lot of crystalline lamps and things like that. Mood setting. Almost looks as if these crystalline lamps are setting light refractions around the room, just kind of adding to the daze that he currently follows himself into. And he's just kind of walking slowly towards you into the room. Doesn't even notice Seraphine leaving. He's just coming towards you. It just seems to be completely enamored with you.
Okay, I am gonna lead him towards one of the soft furnishings, and yeah, I'm gonna schmooze him a bit, get him to relax, and then I'm gonna pick up one of the lamps and try and hit him over the head with it.
Okay. All right, so I'd say that this would be at advantage, certainly. And so that would be, you said that'd be kind of like a club. So it's an improvised weapon, essentially. Is what you're using. So you pick up the lamp, and you kind of lay him on this kind of chase lounge piece of furniture, and he's just kind of fully enamored with you, but also fully immersing himself in your every touch and the moment itself. So he's kind of letting his guard down a lot here, even closing his eyes at times. And so you take this lamp from behind the table, and it is essentially just a large crystal, and bring it down upon his head. This lamp weighs about 5 to 10 pounds. And as he takes this blow, it instantly brings him out. He is no longer charmed by you, but he is bleeding profusely from the head. So it was almost a stabbing blow with this crystalline lamp. And so he takes initially 5 piercing / bludgeoning damage, but he is continuously bleeding from the top of his head. And he seems disoriented and manages to stumble up to his feet from the chase and reaches over for his cane, which he left propped near the wall, and looks back at you as he does this. You bitch. You will fucking know my family will not be treated this way. I need you to roll initiative.
Oh, I'm scared.
So roll a d20 and add your initiative modifier +2. Okay, so you got a 5 + 2 is a 7. Okay, so he will get to reach his cane first. So he is still dazed and still bleeding. So at the top of every round, he will take damage from that wound that you inflicted. But he is armed and he is coming for you. But he does use his movement to reach his weapon. So now it's going to be Ox's turn. He's going to use the dash action to be able to get up into the room where he was waiting. And he doesn't hold any weapons, but he is massive, essentially the size of the door frame. And he is not unfamiliar with fighting, and he's not unfamiliar with Octavius's family. And he would like nothing more than the chance to punch one of them in the face. And so he is leaning in, and he will be able to take an action next round. So now it is your action.
Okay. Well, I am a bunny. I have tiny paws. I am not a fighter. I want to back out of there. Oh, do I have my riding crop though?
Yeah, you have your weapons. You have everything.
Nice.
So you have your whip and your. If you look into actions, you can see all the things. You have a dagger. You have a whip.
Okay. I'm going to take out my whip.
And you should list your offensive spells as well.
But I know I want to take out my whip and I want to step away. And if he comes towards me, I'm going to whip that boy's butt.
Okay, so you're going to hold your action until he comes towards you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It is his turn next. And so I'm going to tell you he is going to come after you. So you might as well go ahead and take it now.
Okay.
Unless there was another part of your action that you wanted to do. Did you want to prepare something, or was there a bonus action? Don't let me step over your first roll.
No, I'm just going to hit that bitch.
Okay. So let's see if you hit it first.
20.
20, crit. Okay. So that is, and you'll double the damage as well.
Okay.
So it should say what the damage is for your attack. Out beside that.
Plus, damage, 1d4 plus 2.
Okay. So you roll the triangle-y d4. Yep. 4. So that's 6. And double, so there's 12 points of damage. So as the whip breaks down across the entire room, and you're breaking lamps and windows and shades and everything, it is just carving through things in this room like a hot knife, including Octavius. And you see it brandish down through his fine clothing, and then blood begin to seep back through. He's wearing kind of a white shirt with a purplish ascot flare to it, very, very fancy. But that white shirt beneath just one slashed in half. And then 2 is now drooping with more blood, already stained with blood from his head wound, which he received earlier. Is there anything else you'd like to do in this action? You think you have this listed as a bonus action that could be done, or you could take a movement?
I'm feeling a bit cocky now. Hit him twice now, so how about an unarmed strike? Let's bitch slap him.
Okay. So,
A little pause.
Unarmed strike. Is that a bonus action?
Oh, no, it's not. It's just an action. No bonus actions that will do much.
All right. So that leads us to his turn, and he is going to come after you with the cane sword.
Oh.
That rolls a natural 1. After you strike him across with this whip, furious, he withdraws the sword from his cane and raises it high above his head and steps directly towards you, tripping on the luxurious rug in front of him, and falls his own fucking sword. 1 second, a moment, what seemed like an eternity. Eventually, Ox moves over beside you. Boys, I think he's I think he might be dead.
What are we gonna do with him?
But I don't think there's anything we can do.
I mean, at least he's dead.
Yeah.
Do you think you could carry him out the building, Ox?
Yeah, I could do that. So like at the front.
Back door. I know I always say never the back door, Ox, but in this occasion, you can go through the back door.
Right. Okay, so let's load her?
No, let's get him out of here.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So he's kind of floats the body up and throws it over one shoulder, and just starts walking down the stairs.
Okay.
And he disappears. Mimsy and the others reappear, Seraphine, and they come to you and they console you, both elated and terrified. They do their best to kind of clean everything up and make it look like nothing ever happened, because the initial thought again returns to your madam's final words. Specifically, you know that the dealings that she had with the family was not with Octavius, but with his father, Lord Cassian Bartel, who is something like that of mayor for the town. He doesn't often come to your establishment, and you can't see him lowering himself to do so, just that he would think it beneath him. Those words from your previous mentor echoing in your mind, and the fear that she had in her voice keeps you awake night after night. And it's almost like you're constantly looking over your shoulder and you are exhausted. Days go by, and weeks, and eventually things look pretty normal. And it's just you and Seraphine one evening after hours, and as you are taking off the makeup and the things from your final show, she's pouring you a drink and getting ready for better herself, and you guys are just chatting. What would you be talking with Seraphine about?
Me and Seraphine are in a relationship.
Of sorts.
Of sorts.
Yeah.
This is her.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, just general talk about the brothel.
And I mean, business has been good. I mean, since then, nobody really knows what happened, but word kind of gets around. Don't fuck around with the girls at Ruby's place. And since then, you've had a lot less problems with any of the patrons who visit. And things have been pretty smooth sailing, and you guys have been making money hand over fist. So she's pretty elated, and she tells you, she said, this place has become a home for her, and she owes everything to you. And so she brings her little hot toddy, as is your kind of nightly ritual that you guys have before bed. And she brings this over to you, and she takes her, and she just says, cheers.
I was about to say I love Seraphine, but now I'm suspicious.
You can roll an insight check if you
Yeah, I think I should.
roll an insight check.
18.
18.
Oh.
You feel that what she just told you is 100% true.
Oh, okay. I love little Seraphine.
That she has a deep love for you. And you don't doubt anything she says for 1 minute.
Okay. I'm gonna take that drink there.
So you guys enjoy your nightcap and get snuggled and tucked into bed. And there's one lamp left on at the far side of the room. And Seraphine says, I'll get that. And she walks over, and as she begins walking over to the lamp to turn it off, she collapses on the floor. And it's slumped.
No. Okay. Do I have any spells to help her?
What do you do in this moment?
Oh my goodness. Seraphine, no.
Yes, it's not scissoring.
No scissoring. That's for sure. No. Can I
Tiffany
feel
heals them.
it? I've got cure wounds? No.
And
Not really.
You're about 20 feet away from her. It's a big room. You got the grandest room in the house.
Okay, I'm gonna run over there. Get my girl.
Okay.
I
need you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
oh no.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
9.
Oh no.
Okay. So as you step out of the bed, large, feather, luxurious bed, as soon as you stand to your feet, you know something is wrong.
Uh-oh.
It feels like you're on a boat, kind of listing one way to the other. Your vision begins to blur. The light which Seraphine was going to extinguish begins to move and trail around the room, almost like a firefly or a fairy. And you become fixated on that. You should make a dexterity saving throw for me, please. You trip on the end of the same rug, coincidentally, that Octavian tripped on. And you fall, not onto a sword, but you fall near Seraphim. As you're lying there, it becomes harder to speak, harder to breathe, harder to move. You're telling yourself to get up, telling yourself to get close to her, trying to help her, trying to save her. And you're essentially lying, looking into each other's eyes. And you realize that she is conscious. She is awake but cannot move. And ultimately, you watch as her face twitches and saliva begins to run from her mouth. And then slowly, blood begins to run from her eyes. And you watch as whatever poison, whatever toxin was clearly in those drinks begins to take hold of her. And you can see every vein, every outline in her face begins to go dark. And her eyes themselves go completely black, still bleeding profusely as her veins tighten and constrict. And then you see her twitch a little bit more, and then you realize she's perfectly still. She is gone. And you feel your own self begin to convulse, and you hear yourself breathe. And you remember in that moment to the first day that you came to work here, and you had been asking the madam how to dance and control your movements fluidly the way that she did. And she brought Seraphine up at that point, because she'd been working here a little bit longer than you had, to give an example. And the two of you danced together in that moment, breathing on point with the music. And that's what made it seem so fluid to the audience, is when you chose to breathe. And you just remember holding her around the waist. It's the first time you ever really met her. And the two of you looking into each other's eyes, and your breathing synchronous. And so you would breathe together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that is why we will end your story for the evening.
Why do you hit the play? That was horrific.
That was awful. For Seraphine.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of Daggers and Drams. Thank you for spending your time with us, whether you're listening on your commute, painting minis, or rolling dice at your very own table. If you enjoyed the episode, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, or following the podcast wherever you listen. We'd also like to give special thanks to everyone who helps to make this show possible. Your support means more than you know. If you want to keep up with us between episodes, you can find Daggers and Drams on YouTube, Instagram, and other platforms. As always, thanks for being a part of this journey with us. Until next time, pour yourself a dram, roll your dice, and keep on telling great stories.
Undercover, underground. Got the blood of a soul.